This comment made me so happy. I wasn't sure how I was going to share some of this stuff with you guys, and then I got this comment and I was like, this is the perfect segue into this, so here we go. I'm going to share with you kind of what I would call like a testimony in progress. For those of you who are new to my page, I actually have a doctorate degree in physical therapy, and I worked in developmental pediatrics and outpatient clinics for 4 years prior to transitioning to be a full-time stay-at-home mom. People often ask me how I knew that I wanted to become a pediatric physical therapist, and I tell them the same thing every time. I didn't know. I graduated high school with no clue what I wanted to study, but I ended up declaring a dual major in exercise and sports science and athletic training after a few friends and coaches from high school suggested that I check out sports medicine, which I had no clue what that even was at the time. And it wasn't until about halfway through my undergraduate degree that I decided to even look at physical therapy school. But I graduated from my undergrad with that dual major, as well as a certification in licensure and athletic training, and then I fully intended to continue down the sports medicine and ortho route once I got to physical therapy school. But while I was in PT school, I met one of my favorite humans in the entire world, my pediatrics and neuro professor. And working with her just completely shifted my perspective, and I fell in love with developmental pediatrics. But even as much as I loved it, when I was in PT school, it was a really big struggle for me, and there were many times that I wanted to quit, so much so that my husband kept asking me, is this really what you want to do? I will support you regardless, but I want you to be happy. And I kept telling him, I said, I want to quit many days, but I feel like I'm supposed to be here. I can't explain it. So I graduated and I went on to work as a pediatric therapist in outpatient clinics for 4 years. But I also had my son soon after I graduated, which meant that for 2 years of his life, he spent more time in daycare than he did at home. And that was rough. It wasn't until COVID hit and we were all home that I started to feel that strain. It took about a year, but we ended up transitioning me home full time. And even though there was so much peace wrapped up in that decision, I couldn't help but sit there and wonder, what did I spend the last 12 years doing? And it wasn't that I didn't love my job. I did. I loved all of my patients and their families. I learned so much. But I kept wondering, did I waste all that time? Did I waste all that school? Did I waste all of those loans? And it wasn't until we got my daughter's diagnosis that I realized he has been equipping me for this moment, to be her best advocate, to be my best advocate, to know the questions to ask. There was not a single moment wasted. And even though there is so much unknown, there's so much peace knowing that he goes before us.